Senator Sessions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. These are indeed actions that go against the very core values of America. I want to say, however, that I believe the military responded properly immediately. And I want to join with Senator Lieberman's courageous comments and strong comments about how we do not need to dishonor the soldiers out there this very day at risk of their lives, withholding firing weapons, being in hostile situations, taking chances with their own lives to protect the people of Iraq. And yes, this is a serious problem. We need to do something about it. And those who dishonor those soldiers need to be punished. But I feel very strongly that the military deserves a lot of credit here. And I want to go over this chart, General Myers, that you have there. First, I want to say to Secretary Rumsfeld, thank you for your leadership and all of you there. And yes, you have some complainers in the Congress, but we voted to send our soldiers to this effort. Nobody else authorized you to go. We voted to support it. And I would also note that the terrorists aren't happy with you either. I saw they put a $15 million bounty on your head, along with General Kimmett and General Sanchez. And I thank you for that service.
Senator Sessions, you want me to go through the...
Yeah, I would just like to ask you a little bit about it because our time is short.
Right.
But as I see, back in August of last year, you appointed an assessment team. Is that right? Long before this occurred.
Right. As I said in my opening statement, I think we ought to have a lot of confidence in our military leadership handling the detention situation in Iraq. It was on 11 August that General Sanchez was worried about detention and interrogation ops, and that resulted in General Ryder going over there submitting a report. We kind of pushed General Miller on him in August of '03 to look, because he was so successful in Guantanamo, look at our detention operations to make sure we're doing it right. And there were also that it's well connected, that the intel is getting to the analyst and so forth, so we can win this.
Now, was this in response to any media complaints, or was it on your own initiative?
That was our own initiative, and that was a discussion between the Secretary and myself and our staffs. The abuse, you can see when it took place. When we were told of the abuse was 13 January '04. The next day, the Army, their police, the Criminal Investigative Division, went on that particular case. We talked about the press.
No, let's slow down. On January 14th, you started a criminal investigation based on the complaint of one soldier.
They did.
And on January 16th, Major General Kimmett briefed the world about the investigation commencing. Is that correct?
Right. And he talked about abuse. And as I remember, he said there may be pictures involved with this abuse as well. And then it was 3 days later where General Sanchez, based on that criminal investigation that he had started, that he asked for an investigating officer, turned out to be Taguba, to look at this MP brigade that was responsible for detention operations in Abu Ghraib and those 3 other locations. It's important to point out as we go through it, and I had it in my opening statement, and I know we need to do things quickly and full disclosure and everything, but this 15-6 report is what it's called in the Army, the Taguba report, can result in administrative actions such as relief from command and other administrative admonishments to military personnel. So it has to be very, very thorough, and that's why you'll see it was started requested in 16 January. It was not approved by General Sanchez until 1 May. And the reason it isn't is because as you go through the various chains, the people that are implicated in wrongdoing have a chance to look at the report and rebuttal the report. And that's part of this process that I think we owe it to our troops to uphold.
But General Myers, on January 18th, according to that chart, the 320th MP Battalion had leadership suspended. Is that correct?
That's correct.
In other words, that's a pretty dramatic action to take, is it not?
It is. It is. But the first look by the Army CID, I think, gave them the indications that things aren't right. And
Now, this wasn't by any pressure from the media or anyone else. This was the military's own decision that their high standards had been violated and that strong action should be taken.
This is General Abizaid, General Sanchez, and his folks, absolutely.
And I know some in this committee have complained when you took strong action against the brigade commander publicly, who fired a weapon as part of an interrogation effort, fine record. You took strong action on that case, and some of us in Congress complained you were too tough.
The standards are the standards. And
thank you very much, Senator.
We thank you for your service, all of you.